What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ICNV Driver's Edition. Today, this is going to be an interesting video. I don't shoot too many videos where I feel like I have to make a video, but this is one of those occasions where I feel like I have to make a video. So, let's look at it this way. I'm going to get into a topic about modifying your cars, and I think this is an important topic for everybody to listen to. So, if you can, and I recommend, watch the entire video because there's going to be a lot of important facts I discuss in this video. But because of what took place today, I feel like I have to make this video. So let's dive into, should you build it or should you buy it? Let's go. Real quick before we dive into this, let's get through the formalities. My name is Sho. This is ICNV Driver's Edition, and this is an interactive car community. This channel is built around a bunch of car enthusiasts who like cars, and we talk about them. So it's an interactive community, which means if you reach out to me at any one of my social media platforms or in the comments below, I do my best to respond, and I may often make a video based on the topic you bring up. But today, we're not doing that. We're not going that route. I actually sat down with my man Ray and shot a video about his car because he did some modifications to his Camaro. But then I also experienced something today that made me feel like I have to talk about people who mod their cars because this could be a life-changing and life-saving topic. So as we get started, I'm going to dive into Ray's Camaro and let you see what modifications he's done before we move forward.
I installed the race cloth on it, yet readjusted. So it's $675 now.
Oh, those seats. Man, oh, they are lower.
They comfy, dude. Sit on them. They comfy.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm falling in. Man, they are comfy though.
Right on the floor, dude.
They are comfy. I will give you that. Feel real good. I don't either,
They
but
hug you though.
they hug, yeah.
They do, but
This boy is nice.
no, I have the cloth. Oh, yeah, the normal one.
Yeah, they low,
They don't go in. They don't go up at all.
but they hug.
Nope. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I like looking at the hood, but like I can't really. I've been buying a new splitter. I
Yeah.
had seats like this. I already bought one.
Man.
So you got rid of the LT2 intake that you had on it? Why'd you pull it off and go with this?
Because of what the piping for the intercooler, the ported C8 intakes at 1.5 inches up higher, 1 3/4 further back to the firewall. We would have had to redo all the intercooler piping.
Gotcha.
So I threw this back on, bolted right up, no power loss whatsoever between the two with the blower.
Yeah.
I got you.
I gotta start doing the modifications to mine, but. If I could get my better off just selling it.
Yeah, this bad boy is nice.
And pay the difference.
Watch his ears. How much you got in this thing, man?
Probably a lot more than I should. Still cheaper than what a ZL1 is, I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
Because I got a deal on the car. The dealer had it sitting for almost a year on the lot.
Okay.
So they basically came down 14 grand from their asking price.
Oh, that was real quick.
They gave me a cash deal price. He goes, if you do cash, he goes, we'll give you a free 5-year, 50,000 mile warranty on the car. So I was like, done.
Now, the one thing I want you to understand, or maybe you didn't catch, is you did hear Ray say the reason why he modified or put the modifications on his car is he's now getting more horsepower than the ZL1 at a cheaper cost. And that's why most people have a tendency to modify their car. To get more horsepower and performance out of their car will actually paying a higher value for the vehicle. I'll give you an example. I had a C7 Z51 Corvette. I accidentally stumbled into Summit Racing, and inside of Summit Racing in the Dallas, Texas area, I want to say Fort Worth area, there's a Summit Racing warehouse. They have a lot of parts. Anyway, I stumbled into this place by accident. And when I stumbled into Summit, when I got in there, I saw several different add-on performance upgrades that would get me to a stage 1 and a stage 2, which would get me to more performance than the current Corvette C7 Z06. And it was saving me probably about $5,000, maybe $6,000 to do it this way. But was it really saving me money? That's the question at hand. I now turn around and sit there and say to you, I have currently a C8 Stingray. And on the market, I can actually take my car to get Callawayed. And if I take my car to get Callawayed, it will actually cost me about $20,000, $25,000 to do this to my base C8 Stingray. But if I Callaway the car, the performance features is I will get more horsepower than the current C8 Z06. I will also get more torque than the current C8 Z06, which means I can have a base Corvette Stingray that outperforms a C8 Z06 just by adding a Callaway supercharger to the car. So this is something I've really thought about doing and moving forward with. And that's kind of what sparks this video. Okay, let me stop lying to you. So what really sparks this video? I think this is the perfect time to take a quick break. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Driver Edition community. This is an interactive community, so if you hit me up on any one of my social media platforms, I will do my best to respond to you, and I may make a video based off the topic you bring up. So become a member, subscribe to the channel. For all my military members, both active and veterans, I'd like to give you guys a big salute because we know freedom isn't free. And because of you guys, it's the reason we get to enjoy the things we enjoy and do what we do today. So again, salute to all my military family members, active members, and veterans. But let's get back to this video. I can actually modify or add some modifications to my car to outperform the higher supercharged version of it. I've seen this over and over again from Lamborghinis to R8s. People aren't that successful with McLarens, but it's being done. And that even trickles all the way down to back, like I said, Camaros, Corvettes, Infinitis, Nissans, Fords, the Subaru. It goes down to several cars, and that's why we're here today. Now, the reason why I made this video is because of what took place with me. I get in my car, and you know I had to stop and grab my breakfast, McDonald's, so you can make the jabs all you want. You see all the videos. I'm sitting on the expressway, cruising at what I would like to say a less than optical cruising range for a Corvette, because most Corvette owners know the car typically runs well and cruises at, I would say, somewhere right around, I don't know, 80 miles, 90 miles an hour with no problem. Well, I'm riding doing about 62 miles an hour. I'm on the expressway, and now I'm hitting a transition point coming into the Chicagoland area from south off 57, where it expands to 4 lanes. As I'm riding, I look up in the rearview mirror and I see this car coming up real fast. And so the guy comes up and blows past Zeus. I look at him like, okay, that's perfectly fine. He then slows down and looks over at me like this. I nod at him. He jerks his car a couple times as saying, let's go. And then he guns off. Now, this guy is actually in a Ford Focus. But from the outside, just looking at the car, I can see there has been modifications done to this car. I can see 4-pipe exhaust system sitting off the back of this car, which I know the Ford Focus doesn't come with this type of aggressive exhaust, especially from the angle I'm looking at. I can tell there was some work done to it just by how he's jerking and taking off. So he really wants to see what his car can do against a Corvette, my Corvette. I even feel like he's trying to get some self-clout so he can go back and tell his friends I raced the Corvette and I beat it, or I was hanging with it, or how the outcome will play out. Now, anybody that knows me personally know if I'm not already driving spiritedly, I don't let people engage me in my car who aren't burning the same type of gas I'm burning. I feel like you have to have the same commitment to this process or the same type of cost financially to engage me into some extracurricular activities. So I'm looking at this as if he's burning 87, I'm burning 93. I'm not finna get engaged in this. Plus, I was actually eating. I think that was more so the real deterrent. So, to move on, as I stated, he takes off. Now, the next set of cars in front of us, which partially I feel like is the reason he was trying to engage me, is probably, I want to say, 3 to 4 city blocks ahead of us. There is a huge gap. I'm just cruising by myself. And he takes off. Well, what tends to take place is he runs up on the back of the traffic in front of us. We're in a 4-lane highway stretch as of right now. He tries to swing between a Nissan Altima and it was a Telluride, I just can't remember who makes the manufacturer. Please excuse me for this. He tries to navigate in between those two cars, which he does. And when he gets in, I'm sitting back here and I see the car start swaying. So he's losing it. Now, in front of the Telluride was a black Malibu. Across from the black Malibu was a Lincoln MKZ. And on the other side of the Lincoln MKZ was a semi-truck with a trailer. And on the other side of the semi-truck and the trailer was a Chevy Blazer. All of this is important because as he's swinging, he just misses the Malibu. He now is going across all 4 lanes and all I see is tail lights hitting. And you hear the tires screeching as he's trying to get back control of the car. He goes in front of the Lincoln. He goes in front of the semi, who now is on his brakes. He goes across in front of the Blazer. The car spins out and now is coming back across all the lanes he just went across. The Blazer locks up and goes off to the side of the road to dodge him. The semi-truck locks up and you see it and it starts to jackknife. I'm like, oh my God, he's about to get killed by the semi. He shoots back across. Now, the Lincoln is on his brakes skiing, but he has nowhere to go. And the Malibu, the Telluride, and the car he jumped in front, they all hit brakes. And he comes flying back right across where if they were still going, they would have hit him. He spins out, and he's now on the side of the road facing traffic. As I'm watching all of this, all I can think of is this kid is about to die. And I say kid because when he looked at me, I would just say he's probably in his late 20s, early 30s, just from the glance I got and saw his face. So the semi-truck unlocks and re-grabs his truck and he keeps going. The Blazer pulls back into the highway. The other cars kept going. Nobody stopped. I slowed down and merged over to get closer to see if he's shaking up. He bags back up, turns his car around, and gets back on the highway. Now he's doing regular highway speeds. I look at him, and he look at me as if to say what? So I take off. And go ahead. I go up about 3 exits, then I start slowing down, and I wait for him to catch up. So when he catches up, I crack the window and I point over. And we get off. If you know anything about Chicago, you can go up one ramp and back down the other side. So we get off the ramp. We go up, the light is kind of red. I let the window down, and he yells out, "Crazy, huh?" And I look at him, and I sit there and say, "You are a effing idiot. You aren't built for this. So stop playing or doing stupid things before you kill somebody." Everybody on this road is either heading to work or to a destination, and they didn't leave the house expecting you to F up their day. You almost killed somebody, or if not, yourself. If that semi-truck would have hit you, God forbid, of what you'd have done to that driver or any one of those people whose cars you barely missed. Your car isn't built for this. Stop messing around, you effing idiot. And then I took off and went back down the ramp. I realized at the point I probably could have been more politically correct. But the reason why I sit there and say this, and I want people to understand this, he's riding on 15-inch, I believe, 225 tires. They're not wide at all. He's done all this work and modifications to his car, which he's so proud of. And I'm happy he's proud of the work he's done to his car. But in all the modifications he's done to his car, he did not increase or improve upon the handling or the stopping ability of this car. And this is how people get hurt. Most people I meet, especially in the tuner community, are so consumed with horsepower. They never think about, I have to stop this thing. They never think about, I have to control it at high speeds. And that's the reason why I said I had to make this video today, because I'm all about somebody doing the performance upgrades to their car. It's your car, it's your money, spend it. You want more out of it, get more out of it. But do it in a very safe way where you don't jeopardize your life or somebody else's life. Because I see time and time again, so many people focus on horsepower and they don't ever focus on stopping. They don't ever focus on the cooling. They don't ever focus on the facts or the modifications that will prevent them from ending up in a wreck, going off the road, or injuring somebody else. And that's why this conversation is so important to me. Because if you're going to modify your car, focus on that. And when I say, should you build it or buy it, I feel like the biggest factor in this conversation to me isn't the horsepower. It's the safety features that come along with the car. It's the testing that has been done with this car to make sure when we sell it to you as a consumer that you are in a situation where you aren't a danger to yourself or anybody else. So that's why I often get caught or stuck in the concept of, do you build it or do you buy it? Because to me, it's more than just the horsepower. It's more than just the performance of the car I'm trying to increase. I have to be able to control it. I have to be able to drive it like I want to drive it and not be a danger to anybody else on the road if I'm going to be on the road with it. And many people don't think about that. So I feel like I had to make this video to share with you the experience of this young man who I felt like could have killed somebody today, if not himself. And when he woke up this morning and the people he affected for 2 minutes on the expressway because he wanted to drive like an idiot, their lives could have been changed completely. And that's the part you have to think about when you modify cars that nobody likes to talk about. So I'm talking about it today. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this? What's your thoughts on modifications? Do you really believe that most people that make modifications actually think about the consequences of what they're doing to their car? I use my man Ray because Ray actually does pay attention to those type of things that we talk about all the time. We often joke about him being able to stop the cars that he modified because he's modified everything his own. So that's why I use Ray as a reference. And I know Ray, when he sees this videos, I'm like, probably comment and say, man, I can stop my cars and control them. Yes, Ray, we know you can. But again, I feel like it was the perfect segue to lead into your car, or your car to lead into this topic, because you did some interesting modifications, and it shows that people modify cars for multiple and specific reasons. And one of the reasons you modify your car, like you said, you get more performance in a Z01, and you didn't spend the money or the cost of a Z01. And to me, that was smart. And for a lot of people, that is why they do what they do. But again, if you don't think about the full performance modifications with the fact that you have to stop it and control it, I think you're being reckless. That's my personal opinion. But again, in the comments below, let me know what you think. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop holding you up today. This is ICNV Driver Edition. Go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Join the ICNV Driver Edition community. This is an interactive community, which means if you reach out to me on any one of my social media platforms or in the comments below, I will do my best to respond. And if the conversation or topic is interesting enough, I will make a video on it. But as always, chase your dreams, build your visions. It's okay to be unique. Stay blessed, stay safe, and I will see you in these streets. Peace.